guys, and welcome to my 2020 TBR. So this is my TBR from the year from books I've pulled off. Let me know below if there's books on your bookshelves you really want to get to, and what are those books. And these are all the books that are just I put to the top, and there's a lot of them. I said I wanted to read 20, but I'm just going to go through all the books I pulled off really quickly because I pulled off like 70 books. And if I read all 70 of these, this would be great. This would be really, really great. But yeah, the very first stack is my TBR from January. So if you want like more like what's in these books, what they're about, go look at my January TBR. But yeah, the first one is Lady Clementine by Marie Benedict. It is a story about Winston Churchill's wife. Don't You Forget About Me by Katie Curtis Quinn. This is a thriller, which is really exciting. This is a nonfiction I picked. Service, Navy Still at War by Marcus Luttrell. Nonfiction piece, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I want to go see the movie. It's a reread for me. Let It Snow. I want to watch the movie on TV by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Sherwood by Megan Spooner. The other two I've already read, so I'm not going to share them with you. Let's start at my white stack. My white stack I put them in white, red, blue, purple, and then blacks. So, off the siding, like the sides, not the whole books are those colors, but you know what I mean. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, George Orwell's 1984 classics. The Hiding Place by Connie Ten Boom. Mere Christianity, this is on my TBR last year by C.S. Lewis. Love C.S. Lewis as a writer. Amazing. The Jackie Robinson Story. I love baseball. So much fun. I Never Had Made It, an autobiography by introductions by Hank Aaron and Cornel West. Super cool. Love baseball. My favorite professional sport, I believe. My name is Lucy Burton. I want to read the other books by her, but I always heard you should start with this one, and I've collected the other ones because I highly rate it, so I really, really need to get to this one by Elizabeth Stout. This one is the middle of a series. Not So Snow White by Donna Kaufman. I read the first one in the series. I didn't love it, but I love the writing, so I'm hoping to go on with the series. Next one is a nonfiction, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. This is that 10,000 rule. I think this guy is like the first one to write about it. He like studied a bunch of people, decided that if you work 10,000 hours, you can become a professional. The Red Tent by Anita Diamante. Heard this one is really, really good. It's like a Bible story told from a woman's perspective. Heard it was really, really good by her. No Easy Day, an autobiography by Mark Owen. This is about Zero Dark 30. So the night they killed Osama bin Laden. Nonfiction piece, of course, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I was told to read this book like a decade ago, so maybe I'll get around to it. And this one, Lipstick in Afghanistan by Roberta Gatley. Dude, I have a lot of nonfiction in here. Behind Beautiful Flowers, Life, Death, and Hope in Mumbai by Catherine Boo. Ooh, this one, been on my TBR for 3 years, like my actual TBR. Super sad. Philippa Gregory is also one of my favorite writers, so it's super sad. The White Queen. And then last but not least, I put Homefront by Kristen Hanna because I want to read a lot of Kristen Hanna this year because she was my favorite book of the year last year, and I only read 2 of her pieces last year because they do take me a little bit longer. So that is my white stack TBR. I have some, I don't hope I hate these books, but I hope I have some unhauls this year as well, because I really want to unhaul a bunch of books that I read and decide I don't want to keep. Like, I really liked them, but maybe I don't want to reread them, or I don't want them on my shelves or whatever, or just books I don't like. So hopefully there's some in here. This one is The Austen Escape by Catherine Ray. I knew I had to pick a Jane Austen book because I don't go a year without rereading something of actual Jane Austen's writing, and I don't go a year without reading fan fiction of hers. So, or fan fiction for it. The next one, The Rosie Project. This was a really highly rated romance. I think it's an autistic romance. I've heard so much about it. I have the book. I have like the second one by the author even. Greg Amin Simpson. Hopefully I get to it. Love and Other Words by Christine and Lauren. I hear this one is like outside the steamy romance category for them, and it's an emotional romance read, which is my favorite kind of read. So yeah, and I love their writing. So excited for that one. The Air Affair by Jasper Fjord. I heard this one's like a mystical realism. I'm not sure if it really is. Tell me if I'm lying. The Lumine Files, #1 by Amy Coffin and Jay Kristoff. Still have yet to read these guys. I've read other books by Amy Kaufman. Absolutely loved them. I want to read the series or start it. So I think this is the first in the series. If I didn't pick the first, I picked it because it was pink. But yeah, Something Borrowed by Emily Griffin. Very popular romance series. This one I read 3/4 of last year. Didn't finish. But I absolutely loved it when I was reading it. P.S. I Love You by Cecil Ahern. Love the movie, so I have to read the book. Romeo and Juliet Code. These ones should come up in February, maybe. By Emma Stone. Phoebe Stone? By Phoebe Stone. The Aviator's Wife by Milling Benjamin. I think I've read this book. Okay, one of her books I have not read and the other one I have read. And I think this one I've read. But I want to read the other Mindy Kaling. So I'm not sure how that got in there. This one I have pulled out as an audio read right now, so hopefully I get to it. But it's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I read her Circe last year. Absolutely loved it. Don't like the story of Circe. So hopefully, I like Achilles a lot better. So hopefully I love this one. A Kiss in Time. It looks vampire or like zombie-ish. I hope it's one of the two. By Alex Lynn. But this person wrote Beastly. I love the story Beastly. 3 Cups of Teas. One Mission to Promote Peace at one school at a time. By Greg Morgenson and David Raylan. Another fun fiction piece. Dun dun dun, I haven't read it and Outlander is starting. The Fiery Cross by Diana Gabaldon. Oh, love Outlander. Such an addiction and like long periods of time and it takes forever to read. Victoria by Daisy Goodwin. I think they made a movie off this. I'm not sure, but I read her other one when it very first came out and I didn't love it. It was called American Heiress, so I put this one off forever. Oh, it does say right here. Not because it's plastic. But I do like stories about Queen Victoria. So hopefully I get to it sooner than later. I had to put romance in here, okay? Because I have to be realistic thinking that these books I read for fun and entertainment, not purely for like the super enjoy of getting something out of reading. So yeah, this stack has a lot more romance in it. Alaskan Skies by Demi McComber. I read one piece by her last year, really enjoyed it, but it was a short piece, so I'm hoping I'll like a fully novel. The Highland Promise. I read a bunch of these by Lindsay Sands, and that is one of the newer ones. This one I've heard a lot of good things about. Good luck with that. I don't think this one's a romance. This one's by Kristen Higgins. Another nonfiction. On my TBR last year and didn't get to it. Margaret Lee Shetley, Hidden Figures. Love the movie so much. Falling in Love with English Boys. This one looks so cutesy, but I think it might be really good. It's by Melissa Jensen, but it's like a past and present thing. Like there's like a guy from the past that kind of reminded me of Outlander a bit. So it's gonna be good. This one I've read like 3/4 of. It was going really well. I don't know what happened, but I put it down. Beautiful Ruins by Jess Walter. Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. I do have China Rich Girlfriend in another stock. Haven't got to that one either. The Time Traveler's Wife. This one will be a reread for me. Absolutely love this book. But I read it over a decade ago. And I kind of been wanting to watch the movie lately. So I kind of want to reread this because I remember really liking it. So, reread. Now for that. The Good Girl. I had to put a mystery or thriller in there. I heard this one's really good by Mary Kubica. The Zookeeper's Wife. Once again, I have read so much of this book and didn't finish like the last few chapters because I wanted to see the movie. This is a war story about people who owned like a zoo in the midst of the war. Fly Girls, and they end up hiding people. But yeah, in like the zoo because the zoo gets like taken over and the Germans take all the good animals. You get it. I think it's in like Poland, and they end up hiding people. And they like portray them as cousins and family. Fly Girls, How 5 Daring Women Defied the Odds of Aviation History by Keith O'Brien. I love women who fly. I just do. I read them about all the time in historical fiction, so why not read like a fiction piece based on nonfiction? I think that's what that is. I'm not sure. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. People always tell me I'd love this book because of the type of books I read or always end up being my favorite with something like this. And I read another piece that was like this, and it was like, you need to read the, like it even said in that book. So I obviously just need to read it. So, what a good mix-up. I mean, this one had to go on the list because it said Romeo and Juliet and vampires. It may be, but you have to read things like that when you see them. I love Romeo and Juliet. The Lilac Girls. I've been told to read this for like 5 years. Still haven't got around to it. By Martha Howell Kelly. Grand Central original post-war love reunion stories featuring fiction by best-selling authors. There's too many to count, but Pam Janoff is one of my favorite authors, and she's one of them. So that's why that got put in. A Monsters Love Story by Liz Kay. I love this cover. So this went in the pile basically based on covers. China Rich Girlfriend, which I've read more than this of it because I was listening to it, but by Kevin Kwan. Such a cute book, but they take me longer to read. I don't know. Did they take you guys longer to read? They were really good, but this one, Resistance by Rachel Nielsen. I heard this was really good, even from adults. I think it's a Scholastic like fair, like you can only buy it from Scholastic fairs if you have like kids or something, or you have access to one. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safer. It's a major motion picture. I haven't seen it, but I'd like to read it and then watch. But I heard it's really good as well. So that is my blue stack, which is kind of smaller because I've read some in this stack. Okay, so some of these books in my last stacks are some of the reason I put my book price so low this year is because I want to read some bigger books this year, and I want to read books that are longer. I mean, take me a while. And one of them is Fall of Giants, which I know this is a trilogy and it's huge. But he is supposedly an amazing historian / storyteller, and I just really want to read it. It's by Ken Follett. I love history. It's a big book. The other one is by Cassandra Clare, Lady Midnight. She is putting a spin-off series this year, and I haven't read this series. I've read City of Bones. Didn't actually really love it. It was okay, but I loved Clockwork Angel, and she's doing a spin-off series of Clockwork Angel, and this is her latest series, so I kind of want to read this one and then the spin-off. I don't know why, but beautiful covers. I don't know who she has to do her covers, but beautiful. I also put Night Road by Kristen Hanna on my list because I love the author once again. For Who the Town Bones by Ernest Hemingway. Haven't read that by him yet. The Girl Who Drank the Moon has been on my list for 3 years. Hopefully I get it to a middle grade March. It was like the middle grade read 2 years ago. And winner of the Newbery Prize. Heard it's really good, obviously, and people love it. People love this book, A Discovery of Witches. I started listening to it, and I just wasn't into it. So I'm going to read it. And so I checked it out as an honor read from our library, which basically means I can keep it as long as I want. Get to it eventually. The next one is Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein. And then Speak, really popular book. I think it's a Prince Award. Is it? Yeah, it's a Prince Award. Really popular, like back in the day when I was like growing up. By Lauren Houseland Anderson. Or maybe they were just teaching it then. This one is a Nation Book Award. Obviously, Ray Bradbury, 451. I want to reread that. I don't know if I heard they were doing something on it, or I don't know. I just want to reread it. That one's a reread. And then J.R. Ward's Love Revenge. I only put like one in series if I'm in the middle of a series because I didn't want to like bombard you with like the whole series. But this is a huge series. This is like book number 8 out of 15 or 16. So I may be reading the other 8 this year, maybe not. That is the final book. So that is my TBR of books pulled from my shelves, the books I want to get to this year. We'll see how many I get to at the end of the year. I will do like an upkeep story and maybe midway through the year, and then maybe one at the end, or maybe I'll just do the one at the end. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that is my 2020 TBR. I obviously have a 2020 new releases TBR because I do like to read new releases. It's fun reading them when everybody else is reading them. And it's fun to read series books that are coming out. And there's a lot of series books that I'm in the middle of that are coming out. The only thing I think that's not in this TBR list that like I'm in the middle of a series that I don't own books to is the Throne of Glass series. I don't own books to Throne of Glass series, any of them. So yeah, I'm in the middle of that series as well. I'd like to finish. But there's a few series in here, tons of nonfiction in here, tons of good pieces. Maybe I'll like them all and keep them all, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys next time. Bye.